Do we have to speak
Aber
German?
ich versuche,
Okay.
verzeihen mein
I'll
schlechtes Deutsch.
try. And sorry for my bad German.
Ja, es war ein schwieriges Spiel.
It was a difficult game.
Es ist eine super Mannschaft.
It's a great team. You have to say that. Congratulations to Arsenal. They're very structured, very physical, lots of quality in the squad. We tried, and in the first half, we actually did pretty well from the beginning. We made too many mistakes in the build-up. We didn't play well offensively, and they put a lot of pressure on us. But without the goal, but they didn't score, so that's why we continued to be hopeful. But then the 1-0 was just a great goal from Eze. Second half played better. We had the chance after a dead ball situation, and I was hoping that with a 1-0 that we could have kept it 1-0 for longer, but then once they scored the second one, it was very difficult. We tried everything until the very end, but it wasn't enough. And Arsenal are very strong. We didn't manage it, so congratulations to Arsenal. Of course, we will take this experience. We had lots of young players. We played 12 games in this Champions League season, and now we can focus on the Bundesliga and the semi-final and the Cup. We have 8 Bundesliga games, so we would like to play in the Champions League again. That is our big objective for the rest of the season. Hello, Kasper. 2 questions. You talked about all the mistakes, many mistakes, like players like Garcia, Grimaldo, Palacios. They are some of your most experienced players, so they weren't quite on the level to make it possible to win this game. How do you explain that? And what marks would you give yourselves for this Champions League campaign? Well, first of all, it's praise and respect for our opponent. They put us under pressure. So, of course, we have to show our very best performance to have a chance to win here, but it wasn't quite enough. We're not as far as our feeling is at the moment, because I see the possibilities. And in terms of our campaign, 12 games, in September I started, and it was a bit bumpy from the beginning, in the Champions League as well, but then got better and better. We had away games in Benfica, to Manchester City, and then 2-0 away to Olympiacos, and 2 tight games against Arsenal. So we kept doing well, but I think the last little bit was missing. There's a gap between us and the best teams in Europe. And that's something that we would wish to make smaller, that gap. So, but overall, we continued playing better and better. And we had young players, new players. They played in this tournament, like Kofane, 19, Maza, Montreal today. So we didn't see much at the beginning of the season, so they came through later. So they made quite a few steps forward. We are disappointed, but it's also motivation for the next phase in Germany, and hopefully it gives us so much motivation that we achieve our goal to play in this competition again next season. Janis Blaswig played very well in the first half. How did you see his performance today, and how difficult is it for you to take him out of the goal for the rest of the season? Yeah, he did very well. He's very stable. The whole game he did really well. That's a very difficult task for him. We have with Mark Flecken, we have a top goalkeeper. He is ready, so it's not easy. We have two great opportunities, and it'll be a difficult decision, but that's good for our team. Is Mark already an option for Saturday, or when would you have to make this decision, or maybe after the international break? Well, that we'll see in the next few days. Mark is ready, and I will make a decision in the next few days.
Hi, Kasper. I just have one quick question for you. On the second goal, it was a great finish by Declan Rice, but there was 3 or 4 chances below the corner flag where you could have cleared the ball down the line first time. You tried to go back across your own box, then you tried to back heel it out off a player for a corner, and then when you did fly kick it clear, it went straight down the middle of the park to no one. Was that a bit disappointing in terms of if you had cleared that ball first time down the line, the goal wouldn't have come about for Arsenal, and you were still very much in that game?
Yes.
Yes, please, the gentleman behind you.
Good evening, Kasper. Tough night tonight. Just to speak on, wanting to get your perspective on what was the difference between obviously the first leg playing so well. Was it more so the midfield battle and maybe the home advantage for Arsenal, which was the difference tonight?
Yeah, obviously I think it's you can definitely feel that the energy of the stadium gives this team a lot. I think they put a little bit more pressure. They were a little bit more powerful, and they moved very well together. They put us under pressure. Normally we are able to play out through the lines when the opponents try to press us like that. But I think we made too many build-up mistakes. It's also a praise for Arsenal because I think they did well. But I also have to say I just felt that there was not much. We didn't need much progress. Also at halftime I said we can do better if we raise our game, keep it as long as possible 1-0. We have an opportunity, and we can play better. I think we did better second half. We had more control. We played more. They are also a little bit anxious with 1-0 still, but the 2-0 gave them a lot of confidence, of course, and then they were very compact. It's very difficult, as I said before, to give unbalance of this team. It's very, very few moments where you feel the imbalance, and when they have very high quality in the defense. So I think it's difficult to create big chances. You have to be very, very razor sharp in these moments, and we lack the last quality in this part. And as I said, that last quality is something we only comes with experience, only comes with more games like this, that our players gets more chances to play at this level internationally. It's that quality takes a lot of hard work and time because we do feel the difference, but I think it's more close than we think. I think we did well in over the two games. Maybe the penalties also could make a difference, but at the end of the day, Arsenal is a little bit better, and it's not undeserved they win, but we had a chance, and I think we just lacked the last bit of quality.
Commiserations tonight. In the last few days, you've played Bayern Munich and now Arsenal, two of the favourites for this competition. How highly do you rate Arsenal, and do you believe that they could go all the way and win this?
Yeah, I think they could. It's very, very, and you can see in Premier League as well. They lead the fewest goals against them, the highest number of goals scored. So it's not a coincidence. And when you structure your game like this, it's very difficult. But I also think Bayern it's a very different type of game. They do it differently, Bayern, and they are very, very high level. I would say it's head to head, but there are also other teams in the competition like Paris and Madrid, and so it's a tight number of teams, and in one game, you never know what happens in 2 games in football, and it's about being ready at the night. But they are definitely in a tournament like the Premier League. I can see why they do so well.
Herr Hjulmand, Sie haben ja gerade schon darüber gesprochen, wie wichtig diese Erfahrung für Ihre
You
Mannschaft war, in
talked
der Champions
about
League zu spielen diese
the
Saison.
importance of experience, so especially the young players. Now you have 8 games in the Bundesliga. How important would it be to play again in the Champions League? Yeah, that is our big objective. We'll try everything. It'll be a dogfight. The other teams are winning games, but that is our big objective. So we'll start on Saturday with Heidenheim, and then we'll have 7 others, the games after the international break, and we will do everything to reach that objective.
Es wird immer viel darüber gesprochen, dass die
A lot of people say Premier League is the strongest league in the world. If we look at the other English teams today, they didn't do very well. But was this game today representative for the difference between the Bundesliga and the Premier League? Well, there are 2 different leagues, 2 very intense and physical leagues. I think the Bundesliga is also very competitive. All the teams are very well organized, especially in the switch-up play, and physically very strong, no matter who you play against. And I believe Arsenal and Bayern at head-to-head are on the same level, but I love the Bundesliga, the stadiums, the fans. Our fans tonight, they were incredible. The fans and the stadiums in Germany are the best. And the passion for football and the fans in every stadium, that's just fantastic. Yes, I love the Bundesliga. Do I get that right? You say the Champions League would be so important, but then what about the Europa League? Would that, well, maybe not counterproductive, but a step back? Well, I don't know. Well, the first season for Xavi, he was 6th, and they played in the Europa League. That was good for the Bundesliga, I believe. But we want to get into the Champions League, so that is our big goal. Whether we reach that, I don't know, but we will try everything. That's where our focus is, and we'll do everything to reach that goal.
Thank you, everybody. See you in a bit. Bye.
Tschüss, ne? Tschüss.